Hey, welcome. Been another missed week since I've streamed Final Fantasy, so it's going to be really good to get back into the campaign. It's nearing the end of the campaign now, so level 88, 89 quests. Thank you for popping in. Who have I got in the chat this morning? Feel free to sound off. So, pretty much, I've been off, I think, for another week, getting back into university stuff. Had some health issues as well, but that's all good, working all that out. Because I also had a bit of a sickness in my throat, so it's been hard to be consistent with the chatting. But also, there's a lot of stuff going on in the background with some Xbox gaming stuff, like Ubisoft server shutdowns and things like that. I've not been able to stream any of it, but it's just trying to finish off some old games before, you know, they start shutting things down there. So, all right, so we have some quests to get into. So we just finished up like a little story arc with this one, and we should be looking at moving on to something new, so they might start throwing some dungeons or something at us. So, let's get into it. Alright, so at the moment we're looking at level 88 quest, Hither and Beyond. The Pale of Anxiety over Charlene Hamlet has been more manageable. So, what was going on here is they kind of like had a little bit of a meeting between these little the pirates, the little bunny people from the moon, and they've kind of had a little meet and greet with it. So let's see what happens. Thou hast my gratitude for lending courage to the not disposed to rest on their laurels. Several of our guests have elected to accompany my countrymen to their station. Some few may still come hither seeking counsel, so I shall remain to aid them thee. If thou art needed elsewhere, do not let me detain thee. Matter of fact, I was hoping you might check on Alize. Last I saw, she was struggling to carry an enormous pile of boxes out of the west gate. I could go myself, but we both know whose help is less like to scorn. Not to mention that, much to my misfortune, I can think of several other things I ought to be doing later. So it's going to be really good getting to the end of this story. So I can move into the content that they've released just after the first major patch as well. But then also move on to my Oceanic character, which is back going into Heaven's War. So that's really good. So there's actually no content on my character except for the base game stuff. So that's all cool. Gonna accept this quest here. So Paladin in Labyrinthos. Mr. Ferret is awfully worried about something. Oh, what am I to do? You're that adventurer who helped the students in Valdezia, aren't you? I suppose it matters not to you, but my son seems to have run away. Why was there a child in here in the first place? Ah yes, simply put, my wife and I will work at Emporia. And she conceived while we were living here in Charlotte. I assure you we had many sleepless nights wondering if we should quit our jobs and leave Labyrinthos, or entrust a child to a friend of ours who dwells somewhere more suitable. Ultimately, we decided to keep our work whilst raising the child here. After all, our research is focused on the very future that our offspring will inhabit. The issue is, however, the magic that prevents us from revealing any potential is too potent to be used on children. Of course, we can't allow the little ones to roam freely. There's no telling what it might impart onto others, though he's spent his entire life thus far within the confines of Charlene Hamlet. Hope they gave him something to do, like play video games. We recently had a slight spat with him, and well, he decided to flee. Imagine me going after him would only make things worse. Could I ask you to talk to him in my stead? I'm sure he'd be much more willing to listen to anyone other than point. Pauline, my boy, is most likely in the paths to the east. I can truck out any further on his own. Alright, to the east. That's not too bad. So these little quests, I'm pretty much doing as I go. So they're the icons with the little blue, the normal quest symbol, but they have a bit of blue in them. So that pretty much indicates that it gives you something down the track, like ability to fly in the area, have to unlock it a bunch of points, or you know, sometimes it's just like minions and like that. So, but the minions mostly come from these other quests, which are, you know, they've just got a little gold background, and you know, once you do a bunch of them, you can unlock a bunch of stuff that's separate. But I'm not really unlocking any of that stuff on this character, so playing through the story on Monk to get to the end of Endwalker. I'm sure, yeah, that should be the right spot. There we go. Actually, that's the main quest, so I'm going to just activate that. So I think further east, I went completely the wrong direction. It is not east, it's west. But I will come back to the other one. It doesn't really matter when I get to it. Because we want to do the main quest anyway. When we want to get out of this area, I'll probably go back to it. Cool. Kyo, what are you doing out here? Well, I'm gonna help you move your boxes, because that's what you do. No, I don't mind if you help with the boxes, but it's far from the most exciting of tasks. Are you sure? Yes, I'm. Well, appreciate the distance. We need to get these to Aporia. Time is short, of course, but they're full of organic specimens and samples, so try not to be rough. Alphano should be waiting for us when we arrive. There. Alright, deliver the crates. You have 3 minutes to pass. That's fine. So, where are we going? 3 minutes is... You know, they always are pretty generous with time, I think, with these things. So, I don't know if you're going to actually put the stuff down and running in. But one of the things I haven't really seen in the game is like time trial-y kind of things, like little open world time trials, you know, they could be beatable. Like they have PvP and stuff like that, but just little like PvE leaderboards for stuff like in the open world. That'd be nice. But I mean, like, really too much with that after people start getting the best scores, so. Right, pretty cool. Come up with creative ways to actually do this stuff then, don't they? Oh, you're helping crates, wonderful. There with the others. Gratitude, but how did you come involved in it? Suppose I have Thancred to thank it. You're wondering why we were tasked with bringing these boxes to Aquaria to begin with, so was I. It turns out this is the base of operations. Of sort, those with final say as to what is included with the ship's manifest can be found here. Father included, I suspect. See everything. Carried all of that once. Are you trying to injure yourself? Oh hush, they're lighter than they look, and not everyone has your delicate arms. I suppose we should let someone know that we finished. Theo Paulden is in the courtyard. Why don't you come along? You should get credit for yours, at least considering where we are. We might even know. Down this way. Fine, that's the way. Nope. Gods, it never ends, does it? What can I do for you? We brought some samples from Australian Hamlet Series 110. The crates are by the engine. Ah, thank you. I'd expect one of my colleagues, but we were dreadfully short-handed. Just a moment. You are Portiono's children, are you not? Alphino and Alize at your service. You're well acquainted with Father, I think. Quite. I've been friends with your parents since days of the studium. I remember when you were yay high, waddling hither and Surely it's been some time since we've met. 'Tis good to see you again, wielding your father's... Lex? Knew our parents when they were young? What were they like? Pray, spare no detail. I should like more than to regale you. Alas, I'm meant to be in charge here. The rings of paper one for some. We can help with that in exchange for the sort of stories our parents would never willingly divulge, of course. Very well, then. There happens to be 3 sets of documents I'm in need of delivery. How about you each take one? Wait right there. Wait right there. Okay, here we go. What's that? What did it say? So, you'll find a foreign representative waiting to collect these near this southernmost structure. Hope I haven't kept her waiting too long. Never mind Alphino and Alize, I'm certain they'll be back soon enough. Alright, so... Carry to search. Stay by this desk. That's on the outside, or... probably in that area. Makes sense. All areas. The reserved representative. Are you not of one of the scions of the Seventh Dawn? I thought you were meant to be working on the 8th burner. Right. Over. Colin's paperwork. I was beginning to worry he misplaced his quill. I appreciate your help in seeing these documents in my hands at last. As for your other task, pray keep this between us, but I sincerely hope your scion succeed. So, the Exodus is without a doubt the most monumental undertaking in the history of the Forum, and so we must be circumspect in all respects. Risk is a privilege we cannot afford ourselves. At its heart, however, Charlene has never been a nation of the curious. It would be a tragedy indeed if we were the ones to stymie your pursuit of truth. Cool. Quick and efficient, I dare say you've talent for this work. Queen's papers only need to be delivered to elsewhere in the facility, so they should be returning at any moment. Not a scrap of paper remaining in our persons. Thanks and apologies for sending you on an errand far below your ambitions. Why, even as a babe, you struggled out of your swaddling clothes and... Quite enough of that. Thank you. It was compromising stories of our parents that we'd asked to hear, not to... Of course, I've known your father for so long. I must have... Well, as you know, part of why the Livia name garnered such respect in Charlene is your family's storied history. Who can trace your ancestry directly back to those who came aboard Dunkep's Hope, a lineage claim. Never thought much of it myself, but it's not as though our forebears founded our nation. They were simply there when it happened. Nevertheless, it has traditionally been a point of pride. Is why Nunkep's, what is it, Nuncrep? The Uncrept pronouncement. Renounce the ways of the war and pursue enlightenment, knowledge, and reason, as ever been our family. Grandfather's time, aye. Archeon Louisois looked not to Nuncrept words for his deeds. He asserted in defiance of his peers that choosing to save the great and the small from the rising tides of the true mark of our founder's virtue. Perhaps it was his expertise, his knowledge of ancient prophecy, and the fall of civilians that led to him to conclude that issue, like at every turn, was divine doom. There will ever be conflict and calamity to follow, thus. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. Remember his words well. Indeed, Archeon Louisois lived by that personal creed, and used every means at his disposal to bring succor to those in need, Charlene or no. No one loved and admired your grandfather more than his. Yet, Fortuneau could not reconcile Louisois' deeds at the philosophy of their forebears and his peers. Philosophy in which he believed so fervently, yet he made a pariah of his father. Fortuneau agonized over his contradiction for much of his life. Father. A son may carry his father's blood, but the choices are his own to bear. It is not always thus. Gods know Fortuneau's cranky old goat. I'm sure you butt heads often enough. Yet even so, you must know that you are constantly in his thoughts, every moment of every day, and that is not an exaggeration, Midas. seen him when you were born, barely recognizable. He was, with a kind of dumbfounded grin I'd not seen since he first took a fancy to your mother. He was practically skipping when he told me the news. Take my word for it, he loves you to an embarrassing degree. So frustratingly single-minded, once he's decided his given action is for the best, he will stay the course no matter who or what opposes him. Profoundly annoying habit when you're on the other end of it, I'm sure you'll agree. Thank you for your insight. When we next meet our parents, I shall mention that we spoke. Try not to get me into too much trouble now. I need the forum on my side. Speaking of which, I ought to be getting back to work. I have to make sure these specimens you brought make it to their proper places, or the cranky gold goat will have my hide. We can speak again later. Alright. Surely Cockle hasn't driven you out of the forge already. For better or for worse, no. However, he has sent me a task that requires more than my single pair of hands. And here you are. I could use at least one of you, but I won't object to more. Fortunately, Alizai and I have prior commitments. We have delayed too long as it. What about you, Kyo? Can you spare the time? Perfect. It shouldn't take long. Loves to pair to me. Once forged, an unspecified task awaits you. In the event that our, and I quote, promised heap of adamantite falls right out of the bloody sky and into my lap, Master Cockle wishes to be ready to prove the proverbial hammer to anvil at the moment's notice. To fabricate these parts, however, he needs the flames of Cockle's forge to burn hotter, me to increase the amount of aether being funneled to his furnaces. The flow of fire-respected aether in Labyrinthos is regulated by an elemental reactor south of here, which I have borrowed the key. The adjustment will require 2 people to carry out safely, but I can explain the process when we arrive. This is where we part then. We'll see you in Charlene Hamlet once the adamantite arrives, but not before. This way then. Funny how they're making you pretty much just go in a circle around the outside, completing mission. Already. The reactor is housed within this facility. I'll be the one to go inside and adjust the fire aether output. When I do, a rather large amount of water aspect aether will issue from the vent at the top. Expect this to attract at least a few elementals, which we would both rather not be drawn to the reactor itself. Trust me. When I ask that you put down any who draw near, they'll pose you little trouble, I'm sure. Good. They pretty much did this. They did a quest like this in Final Fantasy XV, actually. You had to go through random dungeony thing. the whirly. This one, right. Everything goes smoothly out here. Buddy. I thought as much. No major complications to speak of inside either. Water Aether appears to be venting properly. I expect Cockle will have seen the difference in its forged flames by the time I return. I have you. There was another matter I thought to discuss with you. Nothing terribly important, merely something I've been considering. Part of this I shared with everyone, yet, and only you I have been to help us. We have established refined adamantite is a product of Alag, of the Empire's twilight years in fact. It was a material which saw much use as part of the time Allagan's efforts to extend beyond the bounds of this world, Dalamud of course being the most prominent. Of those who would push further, expand Alag's empire to encompass the heavens and stars above. Perhaps the greatest was its famous technologist Amon. Of stuff. He must have had his own reasons. However, there is no evidence that he was ancient. He only joined the Asians once the Empire was all about dust, as you know. If not his memory, though, what drove him to pursue the idea with such fervor? May seem far-fetched, but what if souls like minds have a personality, so to speak, a natural disposition towards which they inclined? But with relative certainty that the gross decadence, the inexorable decline of Alag that moved Amon to protect him. The Empire's people spoke lightly of death and destruction, experimenting on those who deemed beneath them to fill the emptiness in their hearts. In facilitating Zen's return, Amon provided these languid souls with the means to free themselves with the mire of their own indolence. Or would have, had not Zen been convinced of his own death that life itself was meaningless. Amon's desire for his countrymen to conquer the heavens could only be means to their same end, to instill the people with new purpose. Enemies before him, Amon was appalled by those around him, how those around him lived, but could never bring himself to believe that those lives were meaning. And both of them sought that meaning, that hope, in the distant stars. My theory, anyway. Ultimately, it is the consequences of their actions which matter. Their motives are of no moment, and yet. The stars on wings of adamantite to travel to the ends of creation and beyond. The promise of hope everlasting, that much I do understand. But enough musing for now, why don't we see how Cockle is getting on? Right. Right, round and round we go. Alright, I wonder if there's any Aether. 78 harms to the west. Cool. Gonna be here. Or east. Okay, I'll probably end up back over at the east. Probably over in direction of somewhere. Get that one. Feel those flames are blazing. Glad you found someone capable, Graha. There's not much left for you, a lot to do. Less can you can conjure up that find of adamantite any faster. No, we can't. In a few. Next one, bonds of adamantite. Ankle is, as usual, worked up over the Aether burner. I do trust you to deliver on your promise. I do, only. I hate waiting, I want the adamantite, and I want it now. We share your impatience, I assure you. Is there truly nothing else we can in the meantime? I wish. This sitting about unbearable. Pity the forum frowns on recreational explosions. Well, so long as they can't prove that it was premeditated, get you gone. I've made mistakes. In that case, I suppose I should go and return to the key to the reactor. I'll have one more look to make sure there's nothing going wrong, unintentionally or otherwise. I'm certain there are better uses of your time, however, I will join you in Charlie and Hamlet unknown. Cool. I think we're leaving the area soon. What I'm going to do. Fast travel up here and then go down to this quest point for the other side quest. Gonna be in middle there or around. side quest. Who are you? Don't run away. Oh, he's all the way over there. Alright. So we'll clear this one out. Guys probably going to be hiding right here. Yes. That is. No, there he is. Well, that should be the end of the quest. Not going to go home so easy. You probably won't believe me either. I've noticed that all is not right in Labyrinthos. You trying telling me first? I can decide what to believe on my own. First one. I shall tell you what I've seen. The color of the artificial light here has changed recently. Well, most people haven't noticed, but when you spend your whole life here, the difference is like night. So, no one will take me seriously when I bring it up, all because of my age. Got into a big fight with father about it. Labyrinthos is in danger. Who knows what would happen if the artificial broke? That's why I can't go home just yet. I need to get to the bottom of this first. Although I'm scared to venture outside on my own, they say there's countless monsters out there. I don't suppose you would come with me. I would pay you. It's not much, but I do get pocket money from my parents. Gladly take your money. Yeah, I'll gladly take your money. And it's settled. Quest. Right, Gleaner's Wish. The Vieira Gleaner is watching you with interest. Okay. Similar looking model to one that we had in the story. Like, was it at the start of the expansion? I guess. You're a visitor to Charlene, are you? You have a worldly look about you. As a gleaner, I too have journeyed far and wide. Tell me, where is the farthest you ventured? So, another world. And to be in jest, the look on your face tells me you're serious. Aye, you should do nicely. You see, I need a more experienced traveler to say a prayer for me before I leave Griabel-Bana. If you would do me an honor, the reactor operated by the tower itself should have a lantern crystal prepared for the purpose. Okay. Are you here for the crystal? I hope this does some good for that gleaner. Those folks need all the luck they can get. Lanterns light the way through the darkness, a tool which can mean the difference between life and death. They are synonymous with the safe passage, and as such, it has become custom in recent days to imbue the crystal guide with the prayers of more seasoned traveller. And today, that traveller is you. Simply face the crystal and pray for the safety of the others of the traveller to be, if you will. Wait, unavailable at this time. What have I done? Ah, cool. Wait for that act. Wait, unavailable? Am I saying it in the wrong? The fourth. Why does that not work? Oh. Yeah, that's right. It's insane. Seems right. Sure it is. There we go. That's better. For whatever reason, it didn't want to work before. So pray works when I'm not. I don't have anything active. When I don't have it clicked on. Come on. Ah, there we go. Must have been in front of them that they wanted. Nick recently told me about the power of Akasa, the concept for in Razathan and how it reacts to strong emotion. Wonder if this method of praying to the crystal is a manifestation of that power. Well, that should be about it. With luck, the prayers should help guide the gleaner to safely through the perils of his journey. Have the lantern crystal for me. Have my thanks. With prayer fueling its light, I have faith that it will keep me safe until I return. And now I depart for Gear Urbana. I hope your travels are successful, as well as mine. Peace. I think that's all of those little. Wait here. Okay. Why are you telling me I have to wait? Okay. That I take it. What we could: delivered supplies, track down escaped animals, trivial tasks as they may be. That's enough, don't you think? If there was anything more important still undone, that would be a problem in itself. The vessel is essentially ready for departure. All that remains is to load the final batch of supplies and see everyone on board. Once we've readied the Aether burner, that is. I have a feeling we might find you all here. Consultations with the Leporites have run their course. Pleased I am to say that their researchers' concerns have for the most part been allayed, though some insist on making adjustments again. For their part, Living Way and her peers have graciously offered to stay and keep company, lest any lingering queries go unanswered. What remains is to wait for the refined adamant. There, it's me, Kryle. Your special delivery has arrived. Round up everyone and come to the harbour at once. Devil, let us go at once. Give the intrusion, Master Fortuner. I bring urgent news. Great commotion has broken out in the Scholars' Harbour. Your presence is needed with all speed. Trips my little dog and on all the blankets I've got lying around. Either deliver. Yeah. It's very important, but we cannot accept these without a proper permit. Added 12. Surely these can't all be. Hellfire, they're bringing them by sea and air. All these folks in these crates. And more on the way. Got your adamantite right here, bigger haul than any of these bastards brought. That's no lie. Yes, because we're charged with seeing the shipments from Gridania and Uldar. Here, along with your own, give credit where credit is due. Like the sorry whinger of a sore loser and a hypocrite to boot. Ain't no way a scrawny whelp like you took a dozen steps outside Delamid Shard. I'll have you know, when I went all the way to the entrance, I played the vital role in keeping a lookout whilst the expeditionary forces secured the adamantite. You were outside so you wouldn't get anyone killed, did they? Well then, credit where credit's due, you did the right fine job sitting here on your ass. Aye, what a grand welcome party. Oh, and Soroban. We come bearing relics of both sacred and elegant, as well as a few other gifts that may be of help. Be presented with best wishes from the Eastern. Myself have come with a sacred relic from the Kojin. Upon learning of your need, Bunchen bade me deliver on behalf of the blue ace. Ace. Fearing I could not swim here with the necessary speed, however, I thought to beg our Confederate allies for aid. My delight, Hancock was already preparing for departure at the selfsame port and had a space for an additional cargo. You'd of course need quite an impressive vessel to get here in time. Wonderful to hear, but what of all the extraordinary costs? I shudder to think that the ransom we must pay for such a bounty. Not your coin purse, young Alphino. Lord Lolorito looks ever towards the profits of the future, and thus the East Aldenard Trading Company went to some length to secure the financial liability. And since the Skillens funded the entire venture, not a gill needed to be rendered up in compensation. Everything is already yours. We funded the venture? When? Wahaha. Don't let the name fool you. This coin keeper knows a thing or two about spending. When it comes to capital investiture, sprinkling of gilt here and there will not need enough savings to make waves when it really counts, which is why frugality is paramount. We also have the benefit of a generous patron, generous being a rather understatement. He has supported us from the shadows since the very founding of the eons, till we even had coffers. Being, of course, an entirely neutral party, I simply thought of our family's coffers were needlessly full. Hardly take them with us on your tiny toy boat. Now, can we? And 'twould be a shame if leave all that hard-earned wealth unspent. So she's been supporting them the whole time. Aww, that's nice. So much. However did you manage so much in a short time? We expected word to reach only a fraction of our allies. Did I not tell you of my ways? Bill, we're involved too. I received a letter from Kral after we parted ways in Labyrinthos. Claimed what the Skillens were trying to accomplish, and why you might soon require the service of the Gleaners, spread across the world as we are. I pray you do not interpret this as betrayal of Shaolin. I accept that the forum's aim was towards our limits was to preserve what knowledge we have, and I bear you no ill will for it. Yet, in collecting that knowledge, what I came to appreciate most of our star is that there remains so much we do not know. That is why I chose to help the Skillens to combat the obliteration of those countless undiscovered wonders. I held no illusions that they would be less demanding taskmasters, though rest assured, if I had, I would have been sorely disappointed. Long story short, the whole of the guild ship cooperated to ensure your call was heard far and wide. About a ship that can fly to the moon? And why don't you remember it soon? One time you don't beg my aid, your problem is a bloody ship that can fly to the moon. Instead, you brought the team. Of course, Gala 9 works finest. You need only point us towards my new favorite ship. As you're like as to not suspect, we've also brought the Edmanite from Mor Odona's Dulmid Shard. It's some consternation upon first receiving Kral's message. So few Scions remain at the Rising Stones now, far too few for such an expedition. However, the Gleaners were able to secure us reinforcements, Idleshire's treasure hunters not least among them. Fascinating as it is, I fail to see how explanations of her presence here. Does Radazhan not have more pressing concerns? Yet at averting the final days would be the most expedient solution that I'm. They chose to take their leave of Thavnir. Those of you saved in Garlemald remain my people. My gratitude is beyond words. It is appropriate that I aid you in kind. If in doing we bring salvation to the others of the star, so much the better. All that I spoke of my father, Midgosoma, and his journey across the great expanse. As he travelled betwixt the stars, his resplendent scales drank all of the ether in those nigh empty surrounds, and imparted to him the strength of persevere. Thinking they might further your cause, I called out to my kin for counsel. Sadar's answer was silent as ever. Tiamat and Helgazroga, however, responded favourably to his suggestion. My sire too gave his assistance. Thus I brought to his own worm scales, fit them to your purpose, and seek a worthier fate for it all. Hard pressed to find someone else so familiar with the unique properties of dragon scales, so I invited myself along. Who's here? Bugger me, this is unbelievable. I've gone right back round to believing it. Get a 6% gain in efficiency. With all these goodies, we could get a 7, no 10, no 14 bleeding percent. How far we could go, what we could do with that much power, what we could blow up. Buckle is duly convinced that we must be true, in which case the Scion's end of the bargain has been fulfilled. Would you not agree? Father? I know not what you speak of Heidelin, nor for what purpose it would take command. Yet, this much is certain. To do so will be to dictate the fate of this star and the lives upon it. The lives of each and every creature in their magnitude and their fragility. Are you prepared? Seen and we have felt how much each life shapes this world, and so we are determined to abandon none. We understand what is at stake, and we prepared to bear this burden. I will bear it with you. Beg you, share your struggles with me as family. I beg you. Children again. Such tiny hands the day you were born, I thought my heart might burst. Love and happiness beyond expression, overwhelming, and a conviction so powerful that I trembled with some close at rage. I heard final days foretold. I swore to myself then and there that I would not let them. great exodus must succeed. No sacrifice or sin was worse than the ultimate. If anything gave me pause, 'twas mine own father. Louisoix opened decreed Charlene's policies a perspective which I regarded with increasing disdain as I. Yet, even as part of me thought him a fool, perhaps I hoped that he, of all people, would devise a brilliant means to save my children. A naive hope, but stubborn enough that I could never bring myself to keep your part. That was his doing when he perished at Cartano. As we pulled that twisted slab of dolomite from the sea, I remembered the warmth of your newborn touch. Chastened, I vowed never to again to suffer any interference. My missions to no matter that you yourselves wished up. To test me, fight me tooth and nail, I would suffer it more and be satisfied so long as you forced you on the ship. Wrong. You have grown so much stronger and so much wiser than I dared dream. Have earned the right to walk your own path and already begun to do. Because there are things that we care about and people we love, and none of them is replaceable, not a one. It cannot be an easy journey for you to have far. Be glad to acquaint you with finer details someday, once this danger has passed, all that we've seen and heard, that we've felt and learned in our travels. Not a kind world, but it is a beautiful, always. Are you quite sure that is wise? After all, someone turns pale and flees the room when he sees so much as an envelope containing word of your adventures. Ever will happen if he learns what you were really up to. Wrong my children most gravely, I owe you an apology as well. That it was a Scion's influence that made them so willing to charge headlong into danger. Yours in particular. Now that influence instead has brought them together with many fine people gathered here today. In which case, I hope you continue to guide them. Job. If we finished loitering about the harbour, might I suggest that we put our plans in motion? People are beginning to look confused. Perhaps you can spare a few words ere they resume lugging of cargo. No small number of friends and admirers, after all. Lend us your strength. Persistence is appreciated now in an orderly fashion. finally managed to clear the harbor, which means the rest is in capable hands. Meanwhile, Father has issued an invitation. It was agreed he will reveal means by which Heidelin will be contacted. We are to meet him at Aporia when we're ready. Given the vital knowledge she holds, I suggest we leave without delay. Transpires, however, that the forum's method for speaking with her is not without risks. I'm curious to hear what those might entail, but regardless, be warned. Most of those who have arrived with the Adamantite have offered to stay and see any remaining tasks that need doing. The forum has already asked for my assistance in the overseeing process, though you needn't worry about a thing. Thank you, Tataru. We're off to Aporia then. Right. Where are we going? Aporia. Here I have already shown the other side. You will want to speak with Charlian Clarion. She is the key to the lift and you down after me. You're with Master Fortuno. Yes, just step inside the lift here. Here we proceed to the heart of the Labyrinthos and the most closely guarded secret, Tomazine. It marks the beginning and the end of our efforts, whence we delve to seek the audience with the star, and whence we will embark on a way of Right, what's going on? Ah. Welcome to Thermazine. Direct your attention towards the center. Behold the arc over Labid. It was designed as a medium-sized craft, better to reduce the fuel consumption. Miniaturizing magics have been applied to its interior to ensure that the thrust-to-weight ratio does not place too great limitation on capacity. The burner, as you know, has been removed for further modification, but we shall reattach it enough. I've received that word of Cockle, and several of your allies are working. I was sure to see it done. Was their expertise in the prior disaster averted? If anything, I fear they would not afford much time speaking with finish. Taken, let us move on. I must warn you again, however, that even with the benefit of your own device, your treat with her is not simple feat. Done what I can to impress upon you the gravity of what lies ahead. Are you prepared? I'm nearly level 90, but I do have a couple of copper items that something. Let's have a look at what they are. So we've got gloves of striking, and AR. A little bit of it. Might as well get them on. Cool. Right, her children, one and all. Portiono is ready to lead you to Heidelin at last. Make for the lift at the center of this chamber. Come. Oh, it's not there. As you all know, alongside the physical world exists a plane, what we refer to as the ethereal sea. Harder the star, the physical and ethereal are one and the same, thus the deeper we go, the easier it is to pass plane. Lies this principle in constructing anti-tower, and once more here. From decided to withdraw from Eorzea as we begin to facility. Our work culminated in a device that allowed us to peer deeper into the ethereal sea than ever before in search of Heidelin. The echoes. Adioscope. And you communicate with her through this device. For a time, yes, but since the 7th Emerald Calamity, it has been rare to even whisper. If you wish to reach her, you must journey closer to the center of the star than we have ever dared beyond the 8th. Though I make no guarantee that you will find her, nor of your safety, not Aetherals. Understand, but if we are to deliver this world, we have no choice but to try. I know. I only wish we could do more than observe your progress from afar. The adioscope ocular lens by which we may peer into the ethereal sea without placing ourselves at hazard lies above us. Though we can watch and guide. In those swirling depths, there are pockets of aether so dense and turbulent that they can unravel one's soul. We determine that you are at risk of contact with such a pocket. We will recall you in a teleport magics. To that end, it will be the best to the one familiar with the composition of souls remained here to in assessing said risk. Otherwise, there is an increased probability that we early or two. Righto. Please follow me. Put upon this much, and in truth, I do not believe that I am fit to join. The events at the Tower of Babel jade me, yes, but even before that, your capabilities far outstrip my own. This is no time of a weak link in your vanguard, no matter how much she may wish it were otherwise. By a system manner of master function as laid out, however, I may still be of use. Will you trust me to do so? I can think of none more I trust more, compared to that the effort you put into keeping us alive when our souls were in the first. Preventing us from dissolving into Aether in a single condition ought to pose no challenge at all. If we did, I expect you would hunt us down and restore us to health. Flatter me, but rest assured that I will be keeping a close eye on all of you. There is one more thing. Those in ages past referred to the Aetheral Sea as the underworld, our final resting place. In its embrace is memory washed away, leaving only the purity of one soul, or so we believe. Yet, what of these memories, so few to think to ask what comes of them, cast adrift on ethereal tides? Some theorize that they linger for some time, those associated with strong sentiment in particular. Depth's memories of those departed may even coalesce around you, for hatred or for love. Thus, I do caution you to be wary, but also have faith. Remember those who gladly hand to you, that they may lift you up once more. Hey, I said foreboding. So good to have. Right, we're going in. Okay, so I don't think I need to do anything for that. Might give me the level, but still a bit out. Well, hopefully we'll get in straight away. I wonder if, have I got a position for all of these? They're all the ones. That's good. I don't think I've picked up anything extra. Expansion. Alright, here we go. Hopefully we can get in. Really, really quickly. I'm not doing it with trusts. So, like, the advantage of doing it with trusts is you can kind of see what to do along the way. It's just not efficient. Yeah, the trusts kind of move into position and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, it's not worth it. Right. So, forming a party, probably be a few minutes. What can I do? But Try and get rid of some other gear. Sitting on a bunch of stuff for other classes, but I really just don't any of it at all. So. Put away. I can't say that I need any glamour character call. Special update now. Try give online store. Okay, I don't think I've been in here. Oh. Put anything. I think I've actually got what I've got on it. Probably put that away. Glam. Some of this stuff I bought originally. Crafted gear, is it? Some of the crafting gear I bought. Out of Glamour Prison. From the So, average 7-minute wait time dungeon. To clear out some of my gear, I'll probably go and have a look at what I can buy. What I've got, what, 2 million? Not a lot, but it might give me some crafting gear. Focus on like my weapon or something. Whatever gives me the most. Yeah, you buy from them. What do you do? Flame Quartermaster? Delivery. Uh-oh. Okay, that's... Oh, clicked on the wrong one. I thought it was the same. Materials. Glamour Prison. Are you? Benches. Thought it would have been in here. But I can't. Okay. I don't have. I can get rid of some other stuff. skip anything mod related. Can I? Right, now with full up. Taking a while to find the party. Looking at the evening, possibly. Yeah. I don't think there's. I really don't see the of the rings at all. Cool. Get into it.
all seems in order with the lens, and I trust you can hear me? Those things are pure malcontent, the residue of lives unfulfilled.
I thought that was going to happen. You start just seeing, like, old Scions and stuff like that going up. That's kind of what they were implying before. fast. Okay, so you can't have them.
Follow the flow of ether. It will guide you. The ether is too dense. Ah, I'm losing you.
That's cool. Yeah, that's really nice. A little bit slow. Way to quickly. Oh, that was lucky. I think it still took a lot of health.
So, headstrong. Stubborn. To the last. This is as far as you go. Oblivion beckons!
Underdog.
Many faces have I worn, but this is my favorite by far! You will persist in this folly no longer! The stage is set!
Oh, what is that? Okay. Thanks. It's always funny with these ones that are set to the side of the stage. Stuff like outside of your field of view. You'll work out how to do mechanics when you don't even see them. So you've got to hide behind that?
What a boorish audience you are!
I guess that was a stupid move. Good round. I don't know. Well, so those beams pretty much set up. That. Kind of cool. But I'm not seeing where it goes me the AoE for that killer move. Unless it just always goes down the left and then the right and the left. There's some kind of tell there because they soon pull out or they knew which side I was going. Pull up. That's level 90. We're done, boys. Good stuff.
Lies! All lies!
That's nice.
Your dreams, your hopes, your futures, delusions and lies!
Washed away. Sense of presence. Might go into another battle, maybe. Life is a struggle, so blah. Okay. Exit.
My very essence begins to wane. Sweet, sweet agony. Come to deal the coup de grace. Good. Watching you struggle against the inevitable is bad comedy. Erase me from existence, soul and all. How would you know that name?
Friends one.
Then it was you. In Elpis. With them it sucked. The final pieces fall into place. In my halcyon days, as the mortal Ammon, I was haunted by a dream. Night after night, the faceless multitude, the voiceless cries, shards of shattered memories. But slowly, the fog began to clear. This was Elpis. And I was Hermes. Recurring though it was, I paid this dream little heed. It was only when I was granted the seat and memories of Fandaniel that I knew these visions to be true. They were the memories of Hermes that he himself erased using the power of Kairos. Or so he thought. In his attempt to burn away the events of that fateful day, he succeeded only in searing them more deeply into his soul. My soul.
My soul.
Death failed to expunge them. No matter how many times it came, Rebirth after rebirth, from one Fandaniel to the next. I wonder, is Emet adrift somewhere in this ethereal sea? In defeat, finally remembering your time together in Elpis? How it must gall him to be entrusted with knowledge of the final days, only to be rendered powerless to act upon it. So many lifetimes dedicated to restoring his beloved Amarok in blissful ignorance. Oh, folly. But make no mistake, my life as Hermes is not the reason I invited the world's end. I have lived. I have struggled. I have dredged the very depths of despair. And in the detritus of existence, I found the truth. I served a great ruler, powerful beyond measure. The world his dominion. Yet even he and his vast empire were destined to fall, to become one with oblivion. At the end of life's journey lies only death. So I ask you, why live at all? We betray, we torment, we murder. We are wicked, spiteful creatures, without exception. If life is so sacred, so precious, why fill it with such misery? Man wallows in a hell of his own making without purpose or meaning. To live is to suffer, and I would end that suffering by my own hand. It matters not if it flies in the face of all believed right and just. Death is the only solution! That is my truth. My answer to the question. And yet, even as the words pass my lips, I am filled with doubt. Has my search reached its end? Was this the only way? After all these years, is this the answer I was hoping for?
So I don't know what it is about some of the text, but that like Amon was speaking really clearly. But for whatever reason, of like Alphino and Alcide, Alistair, and then just then, it's a lot in the background. Not quite sure why that's separated out. There's clearly some voice acting, but yeah, I'm constantly having trouble with this like every week. I don't know if it's something that's intended, but it's so far into the background, it's hardly noticeable. There's got to be something going on with it. I mean, I've tried all my settings and so it's on another channel.
And what might that be? My wish is all but granted. To die and take you all with me.
If the PlayStation's and it's just missing that middle channel. We'll look at my sound settings on. Oh,
Brave travelers, I welcome you.
again.
I see. Thou didst journey under Elpis. And now, the rivers of time converge. I know why you have come. Yet I would hear you speak your reasons all the same.
Created the moon to deliver mankind final day. Really, how is it is to end? We do not wish to abandon this world. We want to protect the source and all its shards.
To flee is but one of two paths. The other leadeth to Meteon, far beyond the stars, where she doth chant creation's requiem. Her domain is formed of dynamis, pure, absolute. Where emotion and memory govern all, ether will avail you naught. Meteon hath gathered the pain and despair of countless stars, and to go unprepared is to go unto your doom.
Yeah, we'll win, I swear. I've seen all the times I've succumbed in anger and fear. No longer pretend that courage and faith will be enough. We are truly so powerless that our only choice is to flee.
Far from it, my child. Long ago, the inhabitants of myriad stars, many more prosperous than Atheris, sought to free their worlds from life's woes. Sorrow and anger, conflict and hostility, despair, and even death itself. But as Meteon reported, every attempt ended in failure. Darkness abideth within every living being and can never be cast out. Neither reason nor faith can challenge this immutable truth. To live is to suffer. And in suffering, find strength and purpose and hope. As you have done so many times before. Thou dost pursue an impossible dream, yet knowing this, you pursue it nevertheless. And thou hast learned to depend on others as they do thee. Thy yearning for the power to save the powerless hath ever driven thee to greater heights. Thou hast grown strong.
Nah.
Though those closest to thee no longer walketh by thy side, their love remaineth thy guiding light. For duty's sake, thou hast been bound by truths unutterable time and time again. Yet thy heart hath never wavered, as thy companions will attest. In thy pursuit of mysteries great, all thou believest is brought into question. Undaunted, thy thirst for knowledge remaineth unquenched. The fires of hatred that once burned in thy heart burneth no more. From their ashes doth spring the light of love, warm and pure. As witness to black calamity, thou despaired at man's helplessness. Resolved, thou didst unite a distant world on the brink of collapse. And thou, my champion, when all did seem lost, thou never abandoned hope. For every trial and every foe that did bar thy way, thou hast proven equal to the challenge, drawing courage from the many bonds forged on thy journey. You have all known despair, and though the end approacheth, you walk on. Heads held high, therein lieth your power. The strength to silence the song of oblivion.
Then there's no means to there is a means to
Yes, if you should prove yourselves worthy. Hark! Nigh impossible is it to send mortals to the edge of the universe. Should you fail, there will be no second chance.
wipes your game completely and you start again.
I ask of you this. Do you possess the fortitude to stand firm when all around you doth crumble? Do you possess the faith to vanquish despair itself? Should you lack the strength to best a supreme deity, I cannot allow you to make the journey. You must leave this star and never return. Prepare yourselves.
Ourselves worthy. Sounds straightforward enough. Hey, no room for confusion here. In any case, we've come too far to back down now. In mind, how I shall bring to bear. Three of you seem to be forgetting who we're up against. Not every day we battle a divine being untold power. Well, not quite every day. Try to not to get underfoot. Needless to say, there'd be no room for my Pharaoh. Hold nothing back with this world and beyond the rift. Rip chip?
Alas, the question I posed to thee in Elpis hath remained unanswered these long years. I would hear thy response, warrior of light. Shouldst thou emerge victorious?
Right. Yep, I'll do this too. During this quest, when using the duty support system, you have the opportunity to undertake this trial with the party of Steons. Some of the ally roles are different. Additionally, may enter the risk of avatars, blah blah blah, trust. So, I'm going to do this, and after this, it's going to be pretty much it's going to be mostly story after this, probably. So, because of the nature of the way it's, you just end up with so much story. I may not actually stream any more of this character. It depends on whether or not it's like, because going into the new content. I mean, I could stream the new content as well, but I have to wait until I'm 100% done with this stuff. And there's no point streaming the end game for story. Like, the dungeons are okay, but that's just way too spoilery. So even this far in, I may even make this video private, story-wise, so on YouTube. So I think this is just gonna be, yeah, I'm definitely gonna go in with other players, 100%. There's no way about that. Selected, join. 90, how good? So good. Managed to get rid of most here. So that is a level 80. Whole bunch of material on these. The crafted stuff is so much better. Could actually be. 102. Actually, you know what? The earrings were. Go.
I, the last of my kind, shall test thee. Come, prove thy worth.
You're gonna get it.
Have you the strength of will to alter man's fate?
The edge.
A change
Just
of
make
arms.
sure I can see whatever.
May the test continue. We're near or far. And now this.
Right, red is outside. Okay, right, red is. It's reading the chat, which I've actually got good,
Light unyielding.
so.
By blade.
Okay. Thanks. Thank you.
Light unyielding.
Okay, so whatever that little spark thing moved out of the way.
By blade.
And the crystals form around the outside.
Crystals of light. To me. Here. The song of creation's end. Feel.
Nice.
The sorrow of
You
hope's
could expect the
demise.
base to be revived here.
Think. And Find your way in the darkness.
I guess being on the outside of the crystals probably don't take at least less damage. Because it's like working outwards. Oh, that's not good, that's not good. Yes.
Follow your light. Or fly, my children, and never look back. Then you are resolved. But this test is far from over. By crystal's light. Unyielding.
I was so low on health.
Refulgence eternal.
Yes. They keep dying. So whatever it is that takes away my health before that happens, I need to keep an eye out for things.
We're high or low. By blade!
They're like, keep him dead. You're better off that way. Looks like a few of us are dying out. So there's a healer and LB3 or they yes.
Succumb not to fear!
Please, res a healer and ability. Go, LB3. Let's get their health back. Middle, here. Go, get over here with them. Away from the waves. Obviously.
Light unyielding.
That's taking away all my health. It is really annoying. If it's green, go out. Okay. Kind of getting a little bit of an explanation. good. See what's going on. Get out of there. Go in. Oh, in? Wait, no, what? The heals, bro. Hey.
At last, man has the strength to.
Can't be happening.
Though my power is in constant flux, I have always kept a reserve for this very moment. It was a true test of your prowess. You have done well.
One thing I must. By sundering the world of 14 shards, the aether of all beings, of all living beings, was divided. This reduction would in theory allow us more easily interact with dynamics. Mankind brought to the very precipice of extinction, I wished for us to develop a means for overcoming despair. I believe we had potential and sundered all creation to see it fulfilled, to deliver us a swirling maelstrom of dynamics in which our foe hides, and grant us the power to defeat her once and for all. Is that not true?
It is as thou sayest. 'Twas the trial to which I subjected mankind, and it hath led to untold bloodshed and suffering. There was no kindness, nor justice in the tragedy I wrought. When confronted with the almighty Zodiac, my only recourse was rend him and the world asunder, that his power be diminished for a time. And so it came to pass. Now you, my chosen, have surpassed my expectations. Surpassed me. I entrust the fate of the universe unto you. This crystal contains the memory of Meteion's passage through the stars. Deliver it unto the Loporrits. They will guide you to her.
May be capable of crossing great distances. There is a vast difference between traveling to the furthest. Like Median, we cannot simply ignore the waves of dynamism.
Indeed. To make such a journey would require an astronomical amount of ether. But a solution lieth close at hand. Yes, my child. Ever since I became the will of the star, the ether drawn here had slowly crystallized. They who have answered my call know it well. While I have remained hidden, it hath become the embodiment of the planet's will in my place. A faceless, omnipotent force of nature. The Mother Crystal, our final hope. Alas, I can do no more. The fulfillment of this task doth fall to you, my chosen. Now, heed these words. Darkness and light, despair and hope. As goeth one, so goeth the other. Become light, become hope. I have a gift for thee. Come closer. Long have I searched for a means to safeguard the future of this star. Lo, I knew failure after failure. By recalling thy tales and my promise to thee, I found the strength to carry on. Though the world is ever changing, thy thirst for adventure hath never waned. Thine unshakable resolve never ceases to amaze, to inspire. As a mark of my gratitude, I bestow this final gift. Thou dost possess the crystal of Azam, yes? As Heidelin, I reside over the forces of stasis, tranquility, peace. The laws which impart stability to existence itself. I will weave this self-same power into the crystal, granting thee mastery over matter, to give form to the formless. Use it wisely, or it will not last indefinitely. As thou hast seen on thy journey through the ethereal sea, souls are drawn to thee. Mayhap this trait will prove to be a boon rather than a hindrance. It is thy hopes and prayers that enable Azam's invocations and give them life. So keep them close. But pray, remember this. When the way forward is hidden, even from the mind's eye, look not to the invocation, but within yourself. These were the words of the crystal's original bearer. With that, my work is finished. Fulfill our promise. Right the wrongs committed when the world was yet whole. Silence the song of oblivion. Teach her a brighter melody. Show her our journey is far from over. Of this, I have no doubt. For yours is a light brilliant beyond measure. Long after I have gone, though not even my soul remaineth, my love will be with you forever, my dearest children.
A little bit up, and then we'll probably call it. Or we will call it, I think. Glad to see you well, though we could roughly place your souls deep as you went. Could neither see nor hear you. Fluctuations near the end gave me quite a fright. What in the world happened? Madeline is. There's no time to feel our feelings. We must carry our island. We must find media and everything we do. Over the crystal, that is the fancy one. Edge of the universe where congregate the despair of countless stars, who are determined to see this through. Should words fail us, we will fight. Better end. You to accept this, or that you need to ask more of you. We only two means travel, the great expanse, the moon, and Charleon's arc. I am all too aware that without both of them, there will be no exodus, but I will nevertheless beg you to honor the agreement we made. Will be honored. I've earned the right to use it. Could not rescind it even if I wanted to. Happens, I do not and would do all within my pause. Might I suggest you rest a while? Proving oneself to Heidelin is never easy despite your unparalleled genius. You will need a day to make necessary calculations, may you well take advantage of it. Chart a course through the sea of stars in a single day, ye gods. Shall we head above ground for some fresh air then? Perhaps now. by the annex. You read all about your foray into the ethereal sea. Students has ventured far and wide, but it's to that. Are you experiencing any after effects during prolonged exposure, nauseous, dizziness, hauntings? Well, have a pleasant sleep, and if you do experience any unusual phenomena, please let me know. I shall add it to your record. Remember.
There you are. Some time, indeed, yes. For you, at least. Believe me, I'd meant to get some proper sleep. But here we are, drifting along instead. Well, well, you too. And so we remain, to watch and wonder. Yes, indeed. To begin, we first must see the end.
There you go. Got through a whole other section. How? So. That's still just an 89 quest. I don't know, probably starting to get into really far into endgame spoilers and stuff like that. Don't know if I'll, actually stream any more of this character. Might just try to push the story and kind of, which means next time I might be streaming the other character, and seeing where we go from there. So plenty of stuff to do on the other character, like ranking up, but I'm definitely going to get there. yes, so thanks for checking out the stream. It's getting quite deep into the end of the story, so hey, catch me in another game. You might catch me tonight, actually, on the Hall of Gamers podcast, about 6:30 Australian Eastern Standard. For their first anniversary podcast stream. Other than that, thank you for watching. Cheers.